Today on In the Woodyard, we're talking gloves. What's the best kind? What do I like? What do I use? What kind should you get? Let's talk about it. Here we go. So yesterday I was at a show and I was talking with Craig from Modern Rentals, and they had a bunch of gloves out on their display at a show that they had. And then we stopped in at their place in Ripon at Modern Rentals, and Craig gave me a couple pair of gloves and I bought another pair, and I've got some other stuff to show you. I've tried every kind of glove there is on the planet, I think, and I know a lot of you ask me quite often, what kind of gloves do I like? What kind of gloves do I wear? What kind of gloves do I recommend? What do I get the most use out of? Which ones last the longest? Well, I can tell you this, there's two things that will destroy gloves very fast. Number one is firewood. Number two is any kind of cement or brickwork. Because you're handling it and you're sliding your fingers across it, the tips wear out. There's nothing you can do about it. There are certain kinds that do last longer, and there's certain types of materials that last longer, and I've tried them all. It really comes down to how much work are you going to do. If you're going to do a lot of work, you're going to wear gloves out. That's just the thing. That's just the way it is. And I try to make them last as long as I can. I've tried putting shoe glue on the tips of the fingers. I've tried duct tape. I've tried everything to try to get them to last longer. But generally, your tips of your fingers will wear out fastest. But I got some new ones here. We're going to talk about what we got here and show you some of the old stuff. So right here we have an assistant today. He hopped into the truck because he wanted to check things out. I just fed them. Their bellies are full. There's another one down here somewhere underneath the truck. They've been crawling around. But anyway, we're going to talk about gloves here. So I have tried all the different brands. Kinko's are good. Wells Lamont are good. Hardy's are okay. The Tilsitate, I think is how you say it. Tilsitec are nice ones. Obviously Kinko's, and I got the Husqvarnas, and I also have a pair of Echo somewhere. Now, this is by no means all my gloves. I literally have probably 100 pairs, because as they wear out, I throw them out when the fingertips get wore out, especially like on the leather ones. And a lot of times my left hand is still good, the glove, because I'm right-handed, so my left glove lasts longer. So I got lots of lefts, and I'm sure you guys find that too. You got left-handed gloves up the kazoo. Now the lightweight ones, which are nice for the summertime, which are these like mechanic style gloves, you can see how the tips are starting to wear out and they'll start to rip, but I still wear them because they're enough protection for most of what I do. There's different brands, obviously. These Hardy's are okay. You can get those at Harbor Freight. Wells Lamont you can get pretty much anywhere. Kinko's you can get pretty much anywhere. I think, yeah, this is a Wells Lamont here. A lot of times you can get these in like a 3-pack or even a 6-pack, and you can get them pretty cheap, where you can get it down to where you're only paying, $3-4 a pair or something like that, or even less. I think the Hardy's are pretty cheap. You can get these for $3-4 a pair. What's nice about the Wells Lamont is they're very lightweight. The Kinko's, this pair right here, you can see the rubber starting to wear off. There's a very heavy duty, but the bad thing is they're not very flexible, so you're constantly fighting that with your grip, and I don't really like them because of that, but I do like how they last. So those are pretty good. These Wells Lamont ones, these are the lightweight, super mechanic style gloves. They work nice, especially in the summertime. Any of these just have the palm surface that's coated, and then this will breathe in the back, so that works out pretty good. So there's that. Some of them are a little heavier duty. Some are a little bit less. The Hardy's are actually, I think it's a double coating they have on here. If you can see the shiny part underneath, and then they got the texture over the top. So these do last pretty good. But again, nothing lasts forever. I go through a pair of gloves a week, it seems like. Then there's the old reliable leather gloves. I go through lots of these. My brother has a place where you can get these, so he gets me some gloves once in a while because he wears them at work, and they go through lots of gloves. And then sometimes I'll buy like a 6-pack or a 12-pack of these. And you can get the leather gloves pretty darn cheap, especially sometimes if you get them at a place that's got a sale on them. But I go through lots of leather gloves, but they don't last forever. Not all leather gloves are created equal either. This is a cowhide, or a split cowhide, and there's some that are heavier duty. You can tell they're stiffer, and there's some that are real soft and pliable, like this one under here is real soft. It's more like almost like a deer skin. They don't last nearly as long. The tougher they are, the stiffer they are, the longer they last. These Tilsitecs are like industrial style gloves. They have the cut protection. They're really nice. They fit really good. This is the pair that just slides on, so you got the open cuffs. And then this pair has the where you can cinch the wrist down, where it's got the Velcro closure. And what I like about these is it keeps the sawdust out of your wrist when you're cutting, whereas these fill up with sawdust. which is why I prefer the cuffs on most of the gloves. Like this one here, this will fill up, but you can dump this out pretty good. But anything that has a texture on the inside, like these Tilsatex, that's the cut protection on there. I don't know what it is. I'm sure somebody would know. You get sawdust in there and it just sticks to it. You can't get it out. So that's not good. The thing about these is they have the knuckle and the finger protection, and you got that hard surface there, so it does protect your hands pretty good. But the tips on these wear out just as fast as any other leather glove, and then you just got all the insides are sticking out of them then. But they're nice gloves. These are fairly expensive from what I can tell. I've never bought a pair. These were just given to me. A lot of people give me stuff and they say, hey, try these out, you're gonna like them. I do know these are work a lot of times in factories. They wear these kind of gloves because they do protect the hands pretty good. The bad thing about these I found is when you sweat in these and you get them wet, or if you get them, you're working where wet conditions, they'll shrink way down on you. And they literally shrink right up, and then all of a sudden your wrist part, this part right up here, is all the way up here. They shrink right up. It's really weird. Other than that, they're nice. In the wintertime, I like the Kinko's insulated gloves. These are pigskin, which is what I like way better. You can see the little bitty dots on there, if you guys can pick that up. That is pigskin. Lasts way longer than cowhide. Here's another pair right here. These are the heavy duty ones. I think this pair right here, I usually pay less than 20 bucks for. I get these for like 16, 18, something like that. They're called the Heat Keep, whatever. I guess maybe 20 bucks. And then these heavy duty ones, a lot of times they're 25 to 30, but these are way warmer. What I do a lot of times with these heavier duty ones is I wear a light pair of wool inserts, kind of like the the brown jersey gloves. I'll wear those on the inside plus these, or sometimes I'll even put a heat pack in there if I'm cutting a little hand warmer, and that way my hands stay warmer in the wintertime when it's 20 below. So these are the new ones here. These are the basic ones. They call them the classics. They're just slip-on. They got the open cuff. But I think on a hot day cutting, these would be pretty nice because they're real lightweight. I don't think they're going to last a long time on wood if you're handling wood, because it's kind of a softer material. But for running a chainsaw, these would be really nice. This is the next upgrade here, I guess, as far as gloves. A little bit heavier duty. They got a little extra protection in the palms and hands, but I think where it needs to be is the fingertips. You need extra right here, not down here. That's not where they wear out. They wear out in the tips all the time, but I don't know, I guess they don't get that. But that's what all gloves wear out, fingertips, always. So this is what I think they call these the functional ones, but what's nice is this has the Velcro closure for your wrist, so you can close them down. And I think this is the pair I'm going to start with today, I think. Then up from there, they've got the next gloves, the protection functional ones. These are a little more expensive. These are generally around 30 bucks, the Husqvarna ones here. And I did buy these. This is a leather hand palm, a little bit of insulation, a little bit of protection on there. They do have some padding in here. These are going to be too warm for a day like today, so I'm going to stick with these lightweight ones right here. So when I'm cutting, I'm going to be wearing these. And I think what I'll do is I'll take them off. I'll try both of these out, take them off, and then I'm going to switch back over to these lightweight ones for handling wood, because that way the fingertips get wore out. When I'm throwing wood, these will last a little bit longer than I think these will. And these are more expensive and very pretty, by the way. Nice and bright, as you can see. And like I said, this is by no means all the gloves. I literally have totes full of gloves that I've tried over the years. Sometimes I wear a big chopper type thing, like a mitten, when it's really cold, because gloves don't work good for keeping your fingertips warm when it's 20 below. So if I'm cutting and I'm not using a heated saw, which I do have now, I'll use a pair of chopper on my left hand, especially because I'm just grabbing like this and I don't need this dexterity with my fingers. But that's an issue all the time. I also bought myself this right here. Look at these. They got some, had some glasses there. Get these out. These are the Husqvarna glasses. They actually have their logo right on the side there, so that's pretty cool. But they're orange, which is nice. And this is exactly like a style that I bought years ago that I like. It's got the flexible tips on the end here behind your ears. And what I like about that is when I've got earmuffs on, that doesn't pinch my ear as much. And so it's got a little bit of a flex to it. And I like that because it doesn't start to hurt my ear and cut into the side of my head. And extra pair of sunglasses is good. I have a couple pairs, but this is my first Husqvarna pair. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to fill up the saws here. I'm going to sharpen them up if they need sharpening. And then right over here is a pile of wood. And this pile of wood is oak. This is all the small stuff. We did have some rain this morning. We got about an inch of rain during the night and then this morning, and it quit, I don't know, about an hour or so ago, and the sun's starting to come out. Right now it's about 75 degrees. It's supposed to get to 95. Yes, it's going to be a hot one. So I don't know how long I'm going to last, but this is all the small stuff I want to get cut up here. And the reason I want to get it cut up, number one, is because I want to get it out of here. It's mostly dry. Some of it can be sold right now. And a bunch of this is white oak. There's some white oak chunks in here. And I have a customer, actually two customers. One guy wants a full cord. One guy wants 2 face cords, almost a full cord, 2/3. And another guy wants a face cord. So I'm going to get this stuff cut up. And then as I split it, I'm going to separate it by white oak and red oak because they want the white oak. Because these are guys that do smoking and they want white oak. And then there's also a bunch of small stuff over here that eventually we'll get to that I'll pull out. And around the corner there's another pile over here too. Way over here there's a whole big pile of all kinds of different size stuff. So this is a lot of oak here that's got to get cut up. The big stuff I'm going to save for the processor, and I might even try some of the small stuff in the processor. But today I want to run the saws a little bit while it's still fairly cool. I'll probably get a couple tanks in me, and then I'll probably be sweaty. My guess is I'm going to be soaked right down to my thong in a very short time. Let's get cutting. So out of all of these gloves, tell me what you guys have tried. Tell me what you like that's better. Tell me what you prefer. Tell me if there's something that there's really good that I should give a try. I'm open because obviously got to protect the money makers. And gloves are very important when you're working, especially when you're cutting. You want to make sure you protect your hands. And that's one of the things that I guess I like about these ones that have the added protection, because it's not unusual, as you guys know, if you do wood, to smash your fingers. Right now my fingers are nice and clean. I've had some black ones though because I've smashed fingertips and fingers, and I've got arthritis really bad in this knuckle right here. Yeah, that one. If you can see, it's kind of fat because I've smashed it quite a few times, and it aches a lot certain days. Right now it's a good one, but if I do a lot of grabbing all day long every day, like doing firewood where I'm grabbing, the next day it'll be sore. But that's just part of the game. But yeah, there's all kinds of things here that I like, and they're all different, and let me know what you guys like and don't like. So there you go, gloves. Let's get some work done. So I decided to make this video into 2 videos because I had so much footage of cutting here, because I cut quite a bit. I think I cut all 3 saws, and there's a lot of really good footage here, and I just couldn't put it all into one video. So I decided to make this a glove video, so you can see the gloves I'm wearing there. These are the ones I chose to wear that day. They're the Husqvarna ones that have the Velcro wrist closures, and I was pleasantly surprised. They're awesome gloves for cutting. The grip is fantastic. I don't know what it's made of, what's on the palms and the fingertips. I'm just going to call it griptominium or something like that. I don't know. It's just the grip was really nice. And of all the gloves that I've tried, these were awesome. And then when it came to picking up the wood, they're holding up really well. I've cut 3 times now since I've done this video with the same gloves, handling all the wood, throwing all the wood. And as you know, this right here is what wears the gloves out. Grabbing and throwing, because your hand's sliding off that wood all the time. The actual cutting isn't that bad. When you're doing this, that sound you're hearing, that's rubbing on the glove, and they've been wearing fantastically. So I'm going to keep using these and just see how long they last. And I think it's going to be pretty good. So I'm going to show you a little bit more footage from this day of cutting. And then tomorrow's video, I'm going to have a long video. It's probably going to be like an hour long, because I think I cut for, I don't know, almost 2 hours. And I had a lot of footage here, a lot of cool stuff. So you're going to see a bunch. But right now I'm just going to leave you with a few clips from the video. Then you're going to see a bunch of it tomorrow and see the whole pile, not the whole pile, but a bunch of it get cut. Here we go.